Greetings, fellow humans, and thanks for coming in for another video. The last one, it went a lot better than I thought, so I figured why not try and make another one. And I think maybe I went in too heavy with that first one. Maybe I touched base on something that maybe not a lot of people would be interested in. But there is something I was thinking about that I always have my students asking me, is college a scam? Is college worth it? And I think that that's something that's worth delving into. So let's not mess around right now. Let's get into that. Starting with just initially, is college a scam? I'm going to be kind of breaking it down into 3 sections. The first section is why it could be. And the second section is why it couldn't be. You know what I mean? And then the last section is basically like alternatives. Maybe you have tried college, maybe you haven't, maybe you're not interested, but you still want to keep going further. So the third section of the video will be like different alternatives that you can take. Okay, starting with why college could be a scam. First things first, learning is such an accessible privilege we have in America that you can basically learn anywhere and everywhere. We have public libraries, we have private libraries, we have YouTube, we have the internet, different websites, different tutorials, Reddit, Tumblr, Twitter, or X, all this kind of like different things. Like, you can learn now more than you've ever been able to, ever. Human beings have never been able to have this kind of education at their fingertips that we have here in America today. So a lot of people would argue that it's not worth it to go to college if you can learn all the things that you would need to for certain things, not everything, right? You can't learn how to perform a full-blown surgery, but you can like learn different medical things if you are interested in a sort of medical aspect of your life. And we'll get into later jobs that you can have without a degree, but of course there's also jobs that you need a degree to have. Secondly, a lot of people would just argue that some professors just don't have the experience. You're learning from somebody that has never dealt with your career of choice or your area of learning. That's not true for all professors, of course. And even there's that kind of power trip that some professors might have. I remember when I first went to college, I butt heads with a lot of different teachers. It's not that school wasn't my thing, but authority isn't my thing. So I did have a lot of issues and struggles with kind of my professors not treating me like an adult and me feeling like, hey, this is the one time that I get to decide my future and you're not even gonna respect my choices as an adult that I'm making in this classroom. Another reason why college could be a scam is that gen eds friggin' suck, dude. Gen eds are the bane of my existence. I'm not a math girly. I am not her. I failed math 45 3 times when I was in college, and I couldn't keep going in my college career because I had to keep taking this math class over and over again. And obviously there's like different things you can do. There's tutoring, there's learning online, Mathway, different websites that you can use. But of course, like just being in there in the classroom, I remember just it was either too much or it was too little. I was falling asleep or I wasn't catching up, and I just kept failing, and the professor was a jerk about it too, and I couldn't afford her notes. Like, she made her own notes and you had to buy them from the store, and I couldn't afford them, so I just kept reusing them, and she got mad at me for that. Which brings me to the next reason why college could be a scam, is that it's mad expensive, yo. College is an investment and a half. If you are so lucky that your family can pay for college, that is a blessing. Sometimes privilege can be a blessing. It is a blessing that people are able to help you further your education financially, because we are experiencing now in this country the highest tuition ever. College has never been as expensive as it is today. And with student loans and student loan interest rates, college is exponentially more expensive than it has ever been, ever. And we'll get to that later on in the video as well. But basically with the fees, with the tuition, the loans, sometimes people don't get FAFSA. And you also have to pay for your life. You're still a human being. You got to pay for your clothes, your food, going out with friends. Like, that's important. You should go out with friends. So you should have a budget for that, of course. and just it's your youth, and it's one of the most fun and important times of your life, and some people don't want to spend that time stressing over money that they don't have, or money that they're giving away to somebody only to have them be disrespected in the classroom back. And so those are just some reasons why, yeah, college is a scam. Okay, I have my co-star here today. He's got a lot to say about this next part. He thinks that college isn't a scam, and I'm sure he wants to discuss with the class on why it isn't. Okay. All right, so why college is Tux. Okay, so why college is not a scam. Let's just start with the basics. There are a lot of careers out there that you need a professional education to have. You need a degree so that you can prove, to society that you have the skills to do these things. And essentially college isn't just learning. It's not just like an academic setting. It is all about the experience, and it's all about gaining skills and gaining knowledge, not from, once again, learning, but knowledge from other people and knowledge from kind of having that new sense of independence. I went for a couple years and I did end up dropping out. I'm back in it, of course, but I really valued the connections I made with people. Some friends that I have to this day are people that I met in college. Some of my friends got married with people that they met in college. And if you're in a sort of arts or maybe entertainment sort of major or career, you're gonna make a lot of networking connections. I wouldn't have been able to be successful in writing plays and scripts as I was in college had it not been for my professor. And had it not been for the people in my courses, because that experience, having that was like real world. That was being in the real world. That was being in the adult kind of part of life. And that has a lot of value, and it has a lot of information that you will take for the rest of your life everywhere. And that's really important. And there's not many places that you can get that experience without college. There's also different ways you can go to college. There's alternatives. And so you don't have to go to some private university. You don't have to go to some big university right off the bat, fresh out of high school. Y'all are so young. Don't throw your lives away. Don't throw your money away. I highly suggest finding different alternatives if you don't know if college is exactly for you, or if you don't have the money, or if you're kind of thinking like, dude, I kind of was really bad in school. Maybe college isn't for me. We have different options. We have trade schools. We have community college, which is the savior of the college institutions in America today. Community college is a gift because you're able to get the same exact experience, minus the whole dorms, but you know what I mean? That's for rich kids anyways. But you're able to get the same exact experience that you would at a university, but at a much cheaper level. I'm pretty sure the average for community college is like $8,000 like max, and that's for like a 4-year degree or a 2-year degree. And that's for like the whole time you're in community college. So it's like roughly $2,000 to $3,000 a year. College also sets you up for your future, not just in the sense of your career, but it's the safest way to ensure that you will have capital or money to be able to sustain a family if that's something you want. I know that with our generation and the younger generations, there's a huge possibility that a lot of us won't even be able to afford homes. Like, it's a luxury to go on vacation. So to ensure your future, getting a career and getting a degree that pertains to that career, it's important so that you can buy a house if that's something that you want to do. You can travel and go on all these crazy extravagant adventures if that's something that you want to do, because it's funded by your experience from college. Because a degree is just saying this person has experience. I don't know if I can get my boy in. Got my co-star right here. Anyways, so Is college a scam? Yes. But what isn't? You know, there's just so many there's so many things in this country and just in this world that we live in right now that where you are being sold something. You're being sold something to gain something, and you kind of got to play the system a little bit. So with that being said, what can we do about it? Well, you have your choices. You can go to college, you can not go to college, or you can do alternatives. Those alternatives I was talking about earlier, such as community college, which is, it's college, right? But it's kind of like an easier level of burden. So you don't have to have the financial loan burden or the interest rates, which interest rates are ridiculous, y'all. Some people are paying $250 million just to trying to pay off their degrees. Not to dissuade you, of course, from going to college, but that's a lot of money. And if you're not entering a career that will sustain those kind of interest rates and that loan, maybe that would make you be more inclined to choosing other options like community college, which is cheaper. And you can get a degree through community colleges, and some of them even offer 4-year degrees. So you can get a bachelor's at a community college, which is substantial. There's also trade schools. Trade schools have opportunities for almost any career, really. If you are going into the arts, if you're going into something more technical, if you're going into like electricity or plumbing or sometimes even automotive, there's all those options where you can go to school just for that thing that you're learning about. So we were talking about those crappy little gen eds earlier. Gen eds suck, and you have to take them. You have to take a bunch of courses that have nothing to do with what you want. And that's something I hear kids and students complaining about constantly. And I get it. I get it because once again, I failed that class so many times. It's hard to be motivated to secure your own future when it's just constant obstacles and barriers. You go insane because you're just doing the same thing over and over again. So a wonderful alternative is to go to school specifically for the thing that you want to go to school for. So I did go to community college for 4 years. I didn't get a degree because I dropped out, but I did go to film school, which is trade school for film. And it was wonderful. That's where I got a lot of more knowledge. I remember when I was going to school at community college, I felt disconnected because here I had this passion and I had this thing that I wanted to do, but I couldn't do it. I could only take like 1 or 2 film classes. And then even then, after years, I had only taken like 6 film classes, but I had taken like hundreds of other courses, and I hadn't even had enough credits to graduate. I had like 100 and something credits and I still wasn't there. And so film school was a lovely alternative for me to like learn the trade that I was interested in, meet people and network with people that were directly related to what I wanted my career to be. But also it was just a way for me to know that I could feel sure in myself. I didn't have to second guess myself with this and this and this, you know, because while it's awesome to have all these options at college, sometimes it's overwhelming. And a trade school really narrows that down for you. And some trade schools also have like a secure career for you afterwards. Not every trade school. So when I went to film school, they couldn't guarantee a career in the business, but there are some options where you will have a career guaranteed. And that's lovely because the problem now with a lot of people who have earned degrees and have busted their butts in college and spent a lot of money is that after all the money and all the years and all the experience and all the skills, they still can't get jobs in the careers they want because these people aren't hiring. They want a further degree. You got your bachelor's. Oh, I'm sorry, I want a master's. You got your master's. Sorry, we're actually looking for a PhD. And it's like, it's kind of hoops that you're jumping through. And once again, if you get that career, after you get that degree, you can make a lot of money and you can have a lot of fun and you can do something that you're passionate about or something that you know you're good at, but there's still that option if you go to trade school. I kind of went off on this a lot. Try it out, y'all. Another thing is certificates. Kind of like trade school, you can get your certificate at different places. It's kind of like beauty school or like a nail technician, or if you're interested in like real estate, stuff like that. It's kind of the same concept. You take a course or certain courses, you get a certificate and it says, you can do this thing. There's also independent businesses. You can have your own business and you can create your own business. If there's something that you know you're good at, if you have experiences in it, you can go so far, because initially that's what this country was built for. It was built for a person having opportunities, being able to do whatever the heck they wanted with those opportunities, right? Within the bounds of being safe and keeping others safe sometimes. So if you're interested in making your own company or making your own business, that is a lovely alternative too. That is very smart and very safe and very secure, because it's yours and it's your own. And we are now in a time more than ever where we need more small businesses. We need more independent businesses. We have corporations everywhere constantly. And I know y'all are excited for your little Shake Shacks and your little Buc-ee's, but the thing is, eventually we're gonna drive out all the small businesses and those companies will control everything. And small businesses are what built this country. You know what I mean? It's important. So go out there, build your business. So the last part of this is that I'm just gonna list a couple of jobs that you can get if you don't wanna have a college degree. And these are just a few. There's so much more, and I'll get more into that in another segment of this video. But just starting with the first one, firefighter. If you're interested in being a firefighter, you do not need a college degree. Now, I don't know if this is for every state. We'll find out, right? You can also be a paramedic or a paraprofessional. Paraprofessional, that's like a more educational thing. That's actually what I do right now at my other job. So it's like helping kids in the classroom, being a classroom assistant. If you're more interested in the arts, you can get into sound engineering, or if you're just an artist, you can literally make your art and throw it out there and sell it and sell it and sell it and just market yourself and do all that PR. Influencer, you don't have to have a degree to be an influencer. Musician, if you have a skill, hone it. Do your thing, boo-boo. Okay? Most other kinds of technicians, not just sound engineering techs, but other technicians. And you could also be an executive assistant. I don't exactly know what that is, but it sounds cool. And it was the highest paying, no degree job that I found when I looked it up. So that's awesome. I should probably redo this segment, but yeah.